Oh, ow! more. Speed of light. Incoming. Hey! Don't blink. Nowhere to hide. Speed of light. Incoming. Speed of light. Hey! Let's light it up!
Have a little taste. The wrong
His
test.
sword comes shadow. Don't blink. Hey! Incoming.
Jab and cross.
Don't blink. Nowhere to hide.
Picked the wrong test subject.
Let's light it up. Incoming. Hey!
Freeze.
Adventure time.
Have a little taste.
Speed of light. Off we go. Let's light it up. Hey! Incoming.
Done.
Speed of light.
Take this!
Hey! Incoming! Let's light it up! I'll be fine. Change of plan. Don't blink! Hey! Incoming! Let's light it up! Don't blink! Hey! Add Astra. Thank you for Add Astra.
Mondstadt welcomes you.
Everybody stand!
I bet the outside world is there.
The essence of
Culinary skills. to the letter, this...
Sorry, we don't serve the general public.
Wait! We're not...
Well then, you must be a couple of wandering outlanders that snuck in.
Are our clothes really so... what...
The Yashiro Commission's seal. This, in which case, welcome to the Komore Tea House. A safe...
Well, that sounds more like it. Well, now that we're here, Paimon doesn't see him anywhere.
Who forgot their promise? I was beginning to think you'd forgotten about me.
What?
Relax, no need to look so surprised. I take it this is the first time you've seen me in this form? Huh. So you didn't see anything like this when...
Now that you mention it, this does suddenly seem less out of the ordinary.
Alright, I've had my fun.
Hey! You're this close to getting an ugly nick...
Well, I've had some time to kill, given that I've been waiting here for you, so I came up with this little fun greeting for when you arrived. But in all seriousness, I would like to apologize. It helped us determine whether or not to bring you before Miss Kamisato, and whether you had the courage to face...
Don't think that Paimon's gonna forgive you just because...
Sorry, did I overdo it? My apologies. Let me just say this. You've often found yourself... Naturally, this is due to your unwavering, and a long time ago, we had a friend who was much the same. But when the lightning struck... so you've heard of his story. His light still burns all the more brightly. Yes, of course. I will bring you to the Kamisato... But before that, there is one other place I was hoping you...
Oh? Where?
I would like you to come with me to the statue of the omnipresent god. It's still under...
This area sure feels gloomy. Are Paimon's...
Visions.
Visions? You mean all the visions that are collected from the Vision Hunt Decree?
So you've already heard of the Vision Hunt Decree. Before I try to explain, I should perhaps remind you first that Mondstadt is the city of... As for Inazuma, it's known as the nation. The Raiden Shogun is both the nation's most powerful ruler. The eternity in question is her endless and unchanging will to rule over Inazuma. As such, she relies on the Tri-Commission to regulate the nation's affairs. The Shogun wishes to keep Inazuma in stasis, allowing the stream of time to flow from one end to...
Seems like every god has their own...
Of course, this is my own limited understanding. As for the reason behind the recent perhaps the Shogun believes that visions grant people the power to change, and that her eternity doesn't allow for such instability to exist. Whatever the case, the fact is that the Raiden Shogun has dispatched the Tenryou Commission, and this statue of the omnipresent god can be seen as Inazuma's symbol of eternity.
But if that's the case, what?
Only outlanders such as yourselves would ever dare speak out, and yet, I agree. The Vision Hunt Decree is something that simply should not exist, and Miss Kamisato has been committed to
Huh? Hey, are you okay? You look like you're...
Sound? What sound? I didn't...
Yeah, you touched the statue, and then...
Aspirations? That would seem... Have you heard it before? That when a person's ambition reaches a certain strength, the gods look upon them with favor. That is where visions come from. In other words, a person's... So if what you just said is true, then the ambitions of these people are stronger than I imagined. Alright, time for the next stop on our tour of Narukami Island, the Kamisato residence.
Do your worst!
Incoming! Nowhere to hide.
More! To the ferry!
Don't blink!
More! Finally, No.
Speed of light! Hey!
Let's get down to business!
Flee! Do your Yield!
Incoming!
Flee!
Don't blink!
Do your worst!
Incoming!
We shall prevent!
Cut to the chase!
Yield!
Don't blink! Hey! Incoming!
You give, you receive.
Grant us your blessing!
With sword comes shadow.
One after another.
Do your worst!
Getting a little cold.
Don't blink! Off we go!
This can hurt.
Yeah!
Lightning slash! Bellowing thunder!
Teamwork is dreamwork! Let's light it up! Yeah! That's gonna hurt in the morning! Let's light it up! Nowhere to hide! Speed of light! I'll be fine.
So, this is the kind of place where the big shots of Inazuma live, huh? Paimon kinda expect—
Welcome at last to the Kamisato residence.
Is this the Shirazage Himegimi you keep— Oh,
Yes. As the daughter of the Yashiro Commission, consider it a time-honored tradition within the Yashiro Commission. Forgive me if this is—
makes sense. She's a super important.
Please forgive my lack of courtesy for receiving you in this fashion. Especially following, I have awaited your arrival with great anticipation. And Toma at present in Inazuma, in the name of the Vision Hunt Decree, though the Yashiro Commission serves the Shogun, it is the people with whom we share close bonds. Given a commission's power rises and falls with the trust of their people. Thus, we cannot remain indifferent to this situation. Traveler, lend us your power, and we can... Oh.
See, milady, it's just like I said. This will take us...
No, please! Wait! Please, don't go! I will introduce you to the Raiden Shogun, on one condition.
What are your wishes?
They pertain to 3 whose visions were taken from them. Perhaps...
A warrior who guards a village, a former samurai who helped carry out the Vision Hunt.
Correct. Please do all you can to help them. I will await your return here.
I'm sure you'll do great.
Where's the person?
Why are you doing this? Why leave?
Precisely. It's much too sudden. The children are desperate for you to take them out to play. Please.
That must be the guy Ayaka told us about. Let's go.
Ah, you must also be here to try. Teijima has protected this place ever since here, keeping out the treasure hoarders, fending off any monsters that draw near, resolving quarrels between the villagers. But now, all of a sudden, he says he plans to leave us. We will gladly apologize if that's the case. Well, we...
If you want my opinion, it's clear that Teijima had done nothing wrong, and still they confiscated his vision. I can't claim to fully understand it, but I could tell that he'd lost something. Truth be told, we aren't sure whether trying to keep him here is the right thing to do, but equally...
Seems like he's a well-respected guy around here. You must be Teijima. So...
Me? It's not a question of why I want to leave, but a question of what true. But that's not why and what made me want to come here 30 years ago. I don't have answers to those questions because I can't remember. In the past, I knew I wanted to stay here. But whatever resolve I had then, it's gone now.
Okay. Well, in that case... But if you can't remember any... Oh! Maybe if you just try a little harder to remember, then it'll all...
Oh, that reminds me. Last time I brought Teijima some fruit, I do believe I saw him writing in a diary.
I keep a diary? If you say so.
Oh, yes, you do. And what's more, I remember you saying at the time that you want...
Perfect! So if we want to keep Tejima from leaving, we just need to find his diary.
If you don't mind, we will leave you to find the diary. We should head back.
This looks like Tejima's diary. Let's see. Today, the villagers and I got together to cook dry braised salted fish. Today, I helped rescue a kid who had fallen in the water. After I pulled him out, he told me that his best friend Bamboo was still... I went kite flying today. The string broke, so I chased after it as fast as I could. I soon realized I was... Huh? I went to pray at the shrine again today and stayed there a while. The omamori you gave me has faded a little. Now that's the kind of info we're looking for. So this is the omamori Tejima wrote about. Interesting. Look, but anyway, if he had this with him all the time, there's a chance some of his... That the soil looks like it's been disturbed. Maybe Tejima buried something. Must be something pretty amazing if it made him stick around for 30 years. It looks like a letter. The paper... Konda Village. Sounds so familiar. Where is that place again? So the reason but he's been here for 30 years. Well, let's go give Tejima his...
Well, I'll be. That's certainly my handwriting. But I have still. It's clear that over the years, I must have made a note of anything interesting. And just look at all the things that... How could I have forgotten something so important to me? Love, regret, everything I felt for her. No. After all, I've forgotten who she was. Her face... It's as if she'd never been in my life to begin with. As if all these years have been nothing. I think... maybe not. If this is something I would... Although... What if she were to turn up eventually? Only to find I didn't... When I think about it like that, how curious. Why am I thinking like this when I don't even remember who she is? It's just like... Thank you. I shall remain here. And
Tejima seems to be dealing okay, but still, it makes Paimon really sad. Seems it's just like Ayaka and Tomo were saying. If you lose your vision, you lose... That certainly explains the state. At least we were able to help him. Well... According to Miss Kamisato, the second one who lost their vision is a samurai from the Tenryou Commission. Tenryou Commission is directly controlled by the Shogun. They're the ones responsible for maintaining law and... But why would they take action against one... Paimon doesn't get it. Huh? There seems to be some commotion over there. Let's go see what's happening.
I'll ask one more time. Do you intend to withhold this month?
The entire clan is counting on that food. We demand...
How many times do I have to say it? I don't know...
You dare deceive us? Those provisions are essential. Do you understand? Not some good...
You samurai think you can just do whatever you please? The Tenryou Commission will hear of this!
Oh, huh? And who are you? What?
We heard the commotion and came to see what the matter...
I see. You seem to have come just at the right time. Perhaps you can help us settle this matter. This is Kurosawa. He's a samurai and a member of the Shogun's army. They issue emergency provisions. In the past, we'd simply ask him for provisions and everything would be delivered. Now, he suddenly refuses. He's keeping the provisions for himself. I just know it. We'll starve without them.
No one seems to care about us. We used to think Kurosawa was a kind man, but he's shown his true colors. He's the same as all. It's no wonder all the visions have been confiscated. The Raiden Shogun doesn't need people like him helping her rule the nation.
This must be one of the people Ayaka asked us to help. But why would she ever... Maybe we should talk to Kurosawa and see what he has to...
I've never even heard of these emergency provisions. I don't know whether it's rumors or whether they're trying to blackmail me. But either way, it's ridiculous. My own family can barely get by as it is. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got other matters to attend to. And that's the first bit of truth I've heard all day. The Shogun's army told me that I was unworthy of my vision. And they said I was slacking off in my work. Apparently, I'd even disappointed.
Well, that's strange. You were helping enforce the Vision Hunt Decree. Why would you be
To be perfectly honest, I don't seem to... All I know is that I will perform certain things every month. But... And... It's not just that. I have this...
Does it have to do with the missing emergency?
I didn't take any. Like I said, if I was taking them for myself, I wouldn't be going through such hard... To top it all off, my house was just raided by treasure hoarders. Which is why I came here in the first place. If you don't believe me, go find the treasure hoarders yourself.
But we better confirm. Let's go round up those We should be able to follow their tracks. They couldn't have gone...
We really outdid ourselves this time. All those samurai houses packed with goods. We really hit the jackpot.
You haven't seen anything yet. There'll be Today's just the beginning. I'll be leading you all on an epic journey of pillage and plunder. You demand, boss!
These seem like the treasure hoarders we're after. Let's teach...
Yield! We shall prevail!
Don't blink!
Flee!
Speed of light!
You're open! Oh, there goes all the Mora! We worked hard to... Come on, boss!
Not bad, kid. You ever think of joining the treasure hoarders? We could use someone like you. Kurosawa. So he's the one who sent you after us, huh? Just our luck.
So what did you see inside? Was it stuffed?
Food supplies. You kidding? That place was a complete mess. All we found was a strange-looking box. I didn't want anyone else to see it, so I was planning on opening it myself once we... But now that you've caught us, how about we make a deal? That little box...
You've got a deal! Now show us what...
Huh? What the...
There's nothing in here but IOU!
Yeah, a lot of... And they all seem to be made out to the owner of a general goods store, a Miss Aoi. We better talk to this Miss Aoi and get to the bottom of this. As for you guys, you're free to go. Just pray that our path...
Yeah, so we redeemed ourselves for some IOUs.
Shut it. Let's just get out.
Do your worst!
Nah, I think it's fine as it is.
I still think we should change it. This part is a bit old. Okay.
Welcome to Tsukumomono Groceries. We've got or perhaps there's something you want to so you're friends of Kurosawa, I take it? Perhaps you're here to...
Whoa! Let's not get ahead of ourselves. We're just here to learn where... How did Kurosawa end up owing you so much money?
Let me think. Kurosawa would come regularly to purchase large quantities of foodstuffs. However, the price of provisions began to skyrocket recently, and his salary was no longer enough to cover the cost. So, he started writing out...
So that's how he was getting those emergencies. But why did he have to purchase a usual amount? If the prices increased, couldn't he just buy less?
Well, if you think about it, the citizens receiving the emergency provisions must have been carefully calculating how much they needed. Kurosawa thought that it would be quite the disappointment for them if they found they didn't have enough. Especially, so he deemed it necessary to take on the debt rather than...
Wow. Kurosawa was purchasing, and no one ever appreciated what he did. They just complain.
People's attitudes will always reflect their circumstances. In the face of hardship, if you ask me, had Kurosawa told everyone the truth about the supplies from the start, then there wouldn't be such a severe backlash. Of course, I'm sure there would still have been some unrest. What he was doing was truly... As for why he chose to spend his own money on emergency provisions and never tell anyone, if you're still curious, why don't you go ask him yourself? I see. That most unfortunate. If he doesn't clear the debt on his name, he'll have no choice but to sell that sword that is so dear.
Sword?
Oh, didn't he tell you? He possessed... I've asked him about its origins. He told me that it was a gift from his father, that in hindsight, I regret that I never made an offer on it. Why don't you ask him about the sword yourself? Perhaps it'll even provide you with the answer. Oh, but before you go...
But we didn't...
Information is also a kind of commodity. Don't worry. I won't charge much for information about Kurosawa. Nothing we ever discussed was explicitly confidential anyway.
At least we now know where the emergency provisions were coming from. Plus, we found out. Let's go talk to Kurosawa again and see if he can remember anything. What are you doing here all by yourself?
I presented them with a choice. Either they left or I drew my... It turned out to be a real time saver, actually. Perhaps I should start... Did you manage to track down the treasure hoarders? Everything...
That just about sums it up. It turns out that you really were distributing emergency provisions.
Strange. Is that really... I don't really have any such recollection. Even after all you've told me. Why was I purchasing emergency provisions for everyone? And why would I put myself in such a... But I could not deny that when I brandished my sword to scare those two away, I could sense that my body was somehow reluctant to do so. And this sword was once wielded. I remember once when I was young, I wanted to sneak out with the blade and show it off to the kids next door. What did he say? It would seem that I forgot many important things when my vision was taken from me. All I can remember now is my father telling me that this blade bore his life's creed. And said to me,
Hey, if you look carefully, there seems to be some... Can you recognize the words?
Virtue? Somehow those two words seem to explain taking on seemingly endless debts to make others happy. I get, but what use are virtue and justice? I purchased the provisions for those. The Tenryo Commission seized my vision. And the very people I was so desperately and the irony of all of it is, I'm incapable of being a good person. Yet I'm equally unable to be...
Yet another trouble. When we get the chance, let's speak to Toma about Kurosawa's debt. The Yashiro Commission would sure... In any case, we must never let him sell off that sword. Yeah, seems like losing all... Fortunately for us, you don't have... Let's go find the next poor soul. The third person who had their vision taken is supposed to be a... Paimon heard that he's the present-day master of Meikyo Shisu. This is his dojo. Luckily, there's some people...
Nanako, don't worry. Sensei would be fine. Those thugs that challenged the dojo were strong, but he fought them all off in the end.
Maybe, but things have gotten dangerous before in the past, but it's never shaken him.
It's just because he's been possessed, that's all. Once the exorcism has taken place, he'll be right as rain and—
Hey there!
Who are you? I don't care whether you're trespassers or just here to harass us while Sensei is impaired. Get out of here! Don't make me draw my blade, or you won't live to regret it.
No! You got it so wrong. We just came here to,
Disciples?
Yep. We've heard all about the mighty master of Meikyo Shisui art. But then we got here and overheard you talking about how he—
From the way you're dressed, please, accept my apologies. We've had so many people trying to cause us trouble recently. You haven't arrived at the best of times, I'm afraid. Sensei got possessed recently, and he's still recovering. He's not able to take on any new disciples for the time being. I see you are earnest in your pursuit. Okay, how about this? My fellow disciple Nanako and I will explain Sensei's situation. Sensei's name is Domon, a name I'm sure you've already— Though self-taught, he mastered the art of the sword to a high level. He then proceeded to defeat many other prominent— He once said that his goal was to become the best sword master in the world. And so, even while training us, he continued to hone his own art. His fervor truly inspired us. But then—
Not long ago, Sensei had his vision. He says the strangest things over and over. Junya and I have discussed it, and we both think that he's being possessed by an evil spirit. But if I'm honest, I still have my doubts.
The Grand Narukami Shrine.
You haven't heard of it? It's the largest shrine on Narukami Island. The head shrine maiden is reputed to have very close ties with the all— Not that we'd have any means of involving the head shrine maiden, of course. But even one of the ordinary shrine maidens from the Grand Narukami Shrine would have clear power and authority to perform an So don't worry, Nanako. The exorcism will take place this evening. You're both more than welcome to come and watch if you're—
So, losing your vision can cause possession?
Come on, enough procrastinate. Let's go.
Shh. So you decided to come. It's a good thing you didn't arrive any earlier. Just now, when Nanako was attending to him, she heard him whispering a few names. When she asked him who the people were, he suddenly looked panic-stricken. It looked like he was in great distress. He was covering his ears and looking frantically around him with bloodshot. All the while he kept calling those names. Some of them we knew. Others we didn't recognize. But they all seemed— One of them was Anzai. He used to be a fellow disciple of Sensei's. His senior, in fact. But Sensei wouldn't stop calling his name. Thankfully, the shrine maidens managed to subdue. The ritual has now begun. All we can do is patiently await the result. Please, excuse me for a moment while I fetch some water. If he wakes up, he is sure to be thirsty.
Huh? Who's that sneaking around? Uh-oh, we won't let them get away with it. Come on, let's... right place? Let's look a little further up. Aha! Suspicious person sighted! Let's go!
How did you catch up? Are you sure you're Domon's disciples? You move even... unless... I guess it's been a few years.
Excuse me? We're the ones asking the question, and what are you doing sneaking around these parts? You seem like...
Bad news? I'll have you know I trained side by side with Domon. I don't care to talk about that time anymore. But if you must know...
His senior? Wait...
Anzai? Yes, that's me. Because I don't wish to see Domon or anyone else associated with him. When we were young, we trained under the same sword master. Studying, I had begun training 5 years before him, and everyone looked up to me as a steady and dependable old practitioners of Make-Yoshi's Sui art seek to achieve stillness of mind, freedom from all agitation. So the majority of disciples are in, but Domon was different. The first thing he did when he joined was go straight to our sensei and ask him, with a beaming smile on his face, how to become the best. Sensei scolded him and told him that the art of the sword should not be used for such vain ends. Sensei said that coveting the title of the best sword master, barely days into his training, showed that he had a fickle mind. And that I thought so too at the time. But Domon began making swift progress in his training, and even started catching. Only then did I realize that it was Domon who had long since freed his mind from all agitation. He was consumed by his singular desire to become the best in the world. He sought nothing less than perfection in the art of the sword, and nothing could deter...
Sure sounds like he meant business.
Because until he arrived, I was convinced that I would succeed our sensei as the master of Make-Yoshi. Of all the disciples, I was the most gifted. I had trained the longest. Domon's arrival changed everything. When we sparred, I lost not just the match, but my pride and my status too. Later, I heard that he sparred with Sensei too. Sensei was advanced in years by then, and unfortunately, after that I wanted nothing further to do with him. So, when I heard rumors that he had lost his mind, my first reaction was to dismiss them as false. How could he, of all people, have lost his mind? I decided to quietly come and see if it were true. Then, to my complete astonishment, I heard... So you see, I came here not to cause him any harm. Okay, you've heard my story.
Seems like we got it wrong this time. Still, Paimon's not sure we should bring him back with us. Let's...
What? Does that mean he's just lost his mind? But how is that possible?
Nanako, please.
I am sorry. With what powers I have, I can find no sign of any malignant spirit. But spirits may take a myriad of forms in this world, many of which I cannot claim to have witnessed myself. Thus, I dare not, and all is certainly not lost. For I received word not long ago that Lady Yae has taken an interest in your sensei's case.
Lady Yae? Is that... the same lady?
The head shrine maiden of the Grand Narukami Shrine? That's wonderful news!
Correct. Lady Yae is most knowledgeable indeed, and has abundant experience. I am unable to say for certain whether an evil spirit has possessed your sensei. But Lady Yae...
Excuse me, Miss Inagi, but I must ask.
That won't be necessary. All that is required of you is your timely arrival at the Grand Narukami. I must leave now, but we will meet soon at the shrine. I wish Domon a full and...
Who'd have thought Lady Yae herself would have taken notice of our...
Do you mean to say that Sensei isn't renowned enough to deserve...
No, that's not what I meant at all. You misunderstood. I just mean this is Lady Yae. The head shrine maiden. She has direct and close contact with... Anyway, you should join us too, tomorrow. Given that you've traveled all this way just to meet our sensei, we, the disciples of Meikyo Shisui Art, will do...
Sure! After all, everyone seems pretty excited about Lady Ai. We're curious. Who knows? Maybe we'll be able to find out a thing or two about the right...
Let's get down to business.
That's Lady Yai? Oh, no wonder Jun... Also, is it just Paimon? Or did she look... it was probably nothing.
Keep away. I gave up the art of the sword. Please.
As you can see, Lady Yai, Domon has persisted in this state for some time now. He appears to see those who have lost to him in duel.
Lady Yai, it must be a possession. This is nothing like him at all. In the past, no matter what came his way, he would always face...
I'm sorry. It is clear to me that your sensei is not possessed by it.
But... then does that...
Yes. This is... Unable to cope with the tremendous pressure he was under, he suffered a spiritual collapse. With his wits impaired, he finally... As one who is thrown into the sea, though he fights back desperately against his predicament, it does nothing. As for what has triggered this change, I believe it must be the loss of his vision.
Stripped of his ambition? But Lady Yai, even without his ambition, why should he suffer such a...
Your school practices Meikyo Shisui. Stillness of mind, freedom from all agitation. What a fine notion that would be if any in this world could ever hope to achieve it. There was once one who claimed to be indifferent to rank and reward, and who fled enraged when defeated by his junior. And then there was an aged swordmaster who was aggrieved enough that he crossed blades with a disciple. Then, what of the one who crossed blades with his own sensei and beloved fellow disciple, and defeated them both?
Lady Yai, I'm not sure I
The path of the swordmaster is filled with twists and turns. It is no small undertaking. It requires one to take their sword firmly in both hands and cut down the hopes and dreams of others. Only a deep commitment to his ambition to become the best made it possible for him. When that ambition disappeared...
Poor sensei.
I'm sorry, Father.
That's enough.
Huh? Isn't that... Did he follow us the whole...
Ansai, you're here for revenge, aren't you? I knew it would...
You're right to assume that my feelings towards you are far from kindly. It's been so long now, I don't think now I know, but that is no
But what if one day I put everything up? If there's a chance...
Have you asked them what...
Sensei, I can't know. I want to keep going.
Nanako's far from the only one. Goodness.
You see? Being stripped of your ambition is... So, you are not in the same...
I'm sorry to have made... I no longer have the... But as your son, this is my promise.
You can count on that. But well...
So even though his ambition was taken away, his disciples can take it over on his behalf.
Traveler, a moment, please.
So, the wind that blows from afar carries for us to meet now is premature. Nevertheless, you set foot on these islands at precisely the right moment. I have high hopes for you, child.
Ooh, Lady Yai seems to have taken... She seems super mysterious. Paimon's so curious. We can come back to it another time. For now, we should go report... guess who fulfilled all your wishes? Huh? Ayaka! Huh?
Huh? Huh?
Traveler, Paimon. It is a pleasure to finally meet you. I have heard all about how you helped our 3 friends. My sincerest thanks to you.
Yeah. Short of getting them their visions back, it seems like, Ayaka, how come this time?
Because now that you have done the 3 things I asked of you, I consider you to be my friends. As you will observe...
Wait a second. But isn't Toma your,
Oh. Paimon, you are most entertaining. Toma is first and foremost my...
Oh, okay then. Ayaka, you seem pretty different out in the open compared to how you are behind the screen.
Thank you. Back to the matter at hand. You have now witnessed the pain of those deprived of their visions. What are your feelings on what you have seen? Perhaps in the eyes of a deity such as the almighty thunder's roar, lightning's flash, the wind's assault, and the rain's descent. All these things take place with... But I believe that surely you understand what they must endure. It seems that perhaps now you can appreciate my feelings on all of this. In which case, perhaps you would be willing to You will? Really? Naturally.
Alright, bravo, my lady. You were right all along.
See? I told you he wouldn't reject them. Now then, given that the remainder of our discussion pertains to matters of a more confidential nature, perhaps we could move to the Komore-T.
Well, here we are again.
Please continue without me. I'll keep...
So, what's the deal with this place anyway?
This is land that was gifted to the Yashiro Commission by the Shogun. The Kamisato clan has the exclusive right to plan, build, and repair any Such privileges exist due to the Yashiro Commission's role in managing ceremonial affairs. Oftentimes, it is not a...
Oh, Paimon gets it! Gotta keep a bit of...
Once the number of ceremonial affairs conducted in the city began to decline, our forebears built a tea house here. Only members of the Yashiro Commission are permitted...
Makes sense. Perfect place for a seat.
In any case, we can talk freely here. I presume... The almighty Shogun. I've seen her on but only a few occasions. She inspires awe, commands respect, and exudes a sense of absolute authority. But as I recall, it was her almost complete lack of any emotion. In that sense, she appeared to me to be less of a ruler and more of, well, an executive official, I suppose. The issue is this. For the vast majority of people, the vision hunt... After all, it is but a tiny minority of people who receive visions. Moreover, it is... Because of this, the attitude of most people towards the vision hunt...
How can they be like that?
Nevertheless, in addition to us, there was a...
Resistance? You mean like an army fight?
Yes. Many who have lost or fear losing their visions have rallied together to say a little more about Sangonomiya. Historically, there has always been some conflict between them and the Shogun, but I do wonder whether there may be some other agenda behind their resistance movement, beyond merely fighting the vision hunt. Of course! We have tried on numerous occasions. Unfortunately, Each time a proposal to repeal the decree arrives at Tenshukaku, it is promptly vetoed. They invariably adopt a stance of unconditional support for the shogun's decisions. They have it almost makes one wonder whether they had a hand in the shogun's sudden decision to issue the Vision Hunt decree.
Ooh, Paimon has a question though.
Oh? What would you like?
Have you got a plan yet to fight the Vision Hunt?
To be honest, we do not.
What?
Please, do not forget that challenging the Vision Hunt decree is tantamount to challenging a deity.
So what?
Well, for the moment, all we can do is try and reduce... For example, by providing vision bearers with safe refuge, or manufacturing counterfeit visions for...
You're telling Paimon that there are people out there who can...
Don't underestimate the talents of the craftspeople in Hanamizaka. To the naked eye, their counterfeits are indistinguishable from the genuine article. The problem we are facing right now is that Master Masakatsu, who was providing us with counterfeit visions, had...
Darn! So they found out...
Yes. We knew it was not a long-term solution, and that it was only a matter of time before it would be exposed. But we cannot simply abandon Master Masakatsu. Exactly. I feel the same way. But given mine and Toma's identities as part of the Yashiro Commission, breaking him out of prison would risk dragging down the reputation of the entire Kamisato clan should we be caught. That would only serve to cast suspicion on... By no means do we intend to place the burden of such... When you are ready, go to Hanamizaka and look for a fireworks shop run by the Naganohara family.